Good morning. This is Tres Knippa for NakedTrader.com on the floor of the Merc in Chicago. A lot of analysts and opinions have been coming out lately about the Treasury market, most notably the 10-year Treasury. Yields popped up a little bit, which we really haven't seen in quite a while. So clearly you're going to have some pundits, you're going to have some people start talking about, is this the high of the Treasury market? Now, I'm not so willing to go out on a limb and say that Treasuries have to work down. However, in my opinion, why would you want to own a 10-year Treasury with a yield of 2%? It makes no sense at all, in my opinion. So what you're doing is you are lending money to the government at 2%. No. At these low rates, you need to be a net borrower of money. You need to be a seller of bonds. You need to borrow just like they're doing. So rather than own those bonds and lend the government money, I would be going out and trying to borrow money. On what, you might ask? I think that one way to be playing this is, why not use these low interest rates? And do we really think that the interest rates have a big chance of moving up if the Fed has made it perfectly clear that we are stuck in zero interest rate policy for the foreseeable future? Not exactly. So from my opinion, I'd say no, I don't think yields are going to go up. However, I certainly don't think they can work down their way down all that much. So I really think from a long-term real return standpoint that owning treasuries is just a bad trade. What could make that a bad trade? Number one, the dollar could continue to get weaker. Well, guess what? That's exactly what the Fed's trying to do, is weaken the dollar. Number two, inflation could become a problem. I'm not only talking about U.S. treasuries, I'm talking about Japanese treasuries. In my opinion, in my career, we have seen 3 bubbles. We saw a NASDAQ bubble. Then we saw a U.S. housing bubble. Now you are seeing a bubble in the government bond market. In my opinion, the government bond markets in a variety of governments are way too high, and those bond markets at some point are going to become very, very risky places. Obviously, I've been on talking about my opinions of Japan quite a lot, but it's not just limited to Japan. I just don't see that that's at all that great of a trade, especially if inflation becomes a problem. Why would inflation become a problem? Because the government is trying to wreck the dollar. That's the whole point. So do I want to own treasuries? Absolutely not. You don't want to be a lender. You want to be a borrower with rates at these levels. This is Tres Knippa for NakedTrader.com on the floor of the Merc in Chicago.